All right, switch valves. Let me changing these out. So we've got the Fix My Kite. They all come on mega patches. There's a reason for this, to get the surface area when you go to replacing these. So if you get a leak on these valves, the most common, let me show you, they start to release. Here's one. If you can see it, it's kind of hard to see, but you'll look for an air channel. There's one right there. You can see how it's white, and then it's solid black up here where it's got a decent bond, but not very good. So right there is an air chamber, and the air starts to come out, and people wonder, oh man, my valves are leaking. Well, I promise you, if this one is coming off, they're all going to come off. So if you're going to do this job and take out the bladder and do all this work, do them all. Do them once. If you just replace, let's say, this one, then next week you may have this one, or the screw valve comes off. This one here, the screw valve was so easy to bring off. So I'm going to show you how to remove those, how to properly trim and get these ready to go. So I've got the bladders out, struts, and the leading edge. I'm just going to show you how to replace them. There's a screw valve, and then this one, for instance, has 5 struts. So it will be 5 valves for the leading edge and then 5 on each of the struts. All right, so I'll show you that one. Okay, so now we got everything set up and you got the bladders removed. Now I'm going to show you how to remove them. So when they do have a leak on them and stuff, I just want to show you how easy. So this little bit of edge right here, it's not coming up too much, right? There's a little bit right there. But now watch this. Take a little spray bottle of alcohol, spray that on there with a little bit of force, and it just starts to come right off. These are just very weak, and they'll find little areas, a little bit of pressure, keeping that alcohol in there, and that valve just comes right off. So now that that's off, before I did a little mark right over here, and I did this. So now let me show you something else that's very important that you want to do on the switches. Now this is the most little fragile. See this little lip edge? They do a double layer right here, and they put that on there when they bond that valve to it under pressure. You need to remove that. What happens is you take the large patch, and that gets a better bonded area and not just sitting here flipping on that patch or that extra layer. So now what I'm going to do, and you have to very carefully come in here with some nice pair of scissors, and once you get right up along that edge, you're going to work your way around. And if they're sharp enough, you can just push it and come right around. Be cautious, just take your time, don't be in a rush, and trim that little piece off of the bladder. And there we go. Okay, so that little piece is off. Now you have a clean little area. Get it all laid out flat. Get your alcohol. Make sure that you get this all clean best you can. Any residue that you see, you want to take the dry side of that, get that off. And I also take a hair dryer, and you can hit this. Give me 1 second. All right. Just a little bit. Dries out any of that residue, and it kind of prepares that material, a little micro layer of the material. All right, so I know it goes this direction. I had a little mark right here. It's another worry sometimes. You got to remember which way the valve goes, which is this nozzle. That's what I mark them for. So I'm going to peel this off. It's really nice to have someone come and hold this out for you, but I do hundreds of these. So once I do, let's go to the other side. I get everything laid out. Get my valve, I practice it, I know my positioning. I push it down in the center first, then I'll work my hands around, tensioning it, and I'll work my way around that valve, and that takes out all of the wrinkles and gets a solid bond of that valve. Now I'll take the hair dryer, just a little bit of warming, as I've said in other videos. Once you warm this area a little bit, that allows that adhesive from the terry to get down to the microfiber, micro texture of these bladders. It may feel smooth, but the truth is it's not. It is a material, so get that nice and massaged. and there you go. You repeat that over and over for all your one pump valves. Now let me show you a little technique here. This is the inflate valve. So you can see that, again, all I did was put a little alcohol on and the thing just came right off. But you can see this opening is a little bit smaller than the original. Take the packaging from one of your one pump valves. It's got the little hole there, 3/4, and make sure you place that inside the bladder and line it up with that hole, just like that, before you do it. Again, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna trim this up right here, and then I am going to do the same sticky putting on the screw valve. Anyway, that's how you replace the valves on a switch kite, and how you find those. You're gonna get a leak, and if one is leaking, I will guarantee you all of them will leak. So don't just do one and then next week do the other one. Do them all, get it all done, pump, test, and get back on the water. Anyway, that's Jeff Howard here at fixmykite.com to help you keep your kites in your hand and keep on riding.